What's going on, everybody? It is Mr. Banks here, and this is our first test podcast for the Wolves of Wealth. I also have the other founder, No Risk, No Premium, Chris,
What's
as
up,
you guys can
everybody?
see. So yeah, this is gonna be our test podcast. Let me just tell you a little background about myself. My name is Justin Banks, and I've been trading for 8 years now. And we've decided to make this podcast because we see a lot of information out there that needs to be taught. So we want to start teaching that every Wednesday for you guys. Like I said, I've been trading for 8 years now. Wolves of Wealth is the community that I founded, and I founded that because of the shit jobs I used to work and the shit people I was surrounded by. So, I know a lot of you are still working. A lot of you are still working 2+3 jobs or just one full time. And you're surrounded by that, dead set mentality. I'm sure some of you talk about your stock trading, your investing, and everybody just kind of blows you off or just, doesn't believe that you're going to make it or anything like that. And that was the reason why I founded this community, Wolves of Wealth, because you are who you surround yourself with. If you're surrounded by 5 millionaires, you're going to be the six, and
Truth.
that's the truth. That's the fact. And so that's why I built this community. Yeah, a little about me. I'm originally from Las Vegas, Nevada, as well. Moved out to New Mexico in 2016, and that's where I reside currently. And then, yeah, from day to day, I just trade, run the community, and hope to inspire others to, show that it is possible to break out and to, do whatever dreams you want to do and become whoever you want to be.
Yep.
And then that kind of led me to Chris here. I would say it was about what, 7 months ago, 8 months ago, probably longer, like 8 to 10 months ago.
Man, it was 2021. Was it in
Yeah.
March or April?
I think it was like April or March, and I saw you're posting all these
Well,
option
I remember we
stuff.
started interacting, and I was like, "Man, this dude talks a lot of shit." I'm like, I kind of like this guy. Like, I fuck with him a little bit. He's definitely got that alpha mentality. And we were going back and forth, and then I think I remember you asked me, like, you sent me a message. You're like, "Bro, it seems like you know your shit. Like, I run this community. You want to come check it out, et cetera, et cetera." So I got in, and then we ended up meeting. We said we had a message back and forth for like a month or two, and then you were out in LA, and so we met for lunch. Um, we could get into that too, but I'll just go in and give a quick background about myself. My name is Chris Popov, originally from Corona, California. I am a co-owner of the Wolves of Wealth. Myself personally, I come from a finance-driven background. It's what I went to school for. I got into the industry at TAD. I actually started doing high-level executive placements in Orange County from a corporate sales standpoint. Just like Justin, I was on the grind every day. I was super blessed and super fortunate to be in that situation to make the money that I used to make in the corporate side of things. But I did recognize the same things that Justin did recognize and things that we talk about all the time is just a huge societal problem with just not having the right things talked about as far as wealth building, as far as getting better every day. Our society places a huge importance on things that, in my opinion, don't fucking matter. So, I found myself in that same boat. And to be honest, outside of like my close friend group, the community that we built, um, has allowed me to connect myself and be around people that have a like-minded mentality. We really strive to be the best version of ourselves in whole. And yeah, man, I just want to say first off, thank you, Justin, for the opportunity. For real, I tell you all the time, but without the initial, you laying that groundwork for real, bro, wouldn't be
Eh,
here. So
I mean,
thank you.
I had to pull out. I had to rent that Ferrari to get you part of the group. So it was all worth it. It was all worth it.
Justin, I
Yeah,
do
let's
appreciate
talk that. Let's talk about that day real quick. Yeah, so I hit up Chris and I brought him into the group, and I flew out to LA because I wanted to meet him because obviously if he's gonna be a potential business partner, then I want to meet this guy in person. So yeah, I flew out there. We met for lunch, and then you can kind of tell what transpired after that.
Yeah, man, we're right there in Santa Monica, or like Venice, Santa
No, we
Monica
went to
area.
Venice.
I
Yeah.
forgot the spot was. It was like a breakfast lunch spot, and we sat and talked for like an hour or two, and just like good conversation. We are like definitely had the same beliefs about a lot of things, and we kind of talked about partnering. And then lunch was over, and is that what you rolled up in? Like it was the white Ferrari. I forgot which one it was. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, he's like, you want to go for a spin? I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, because me personally, I never been in a car, any car like that. You know, luxury, foreign, whatever you want to call it, exotic. I don't know. So we we hop in. We're on I don't even know if it's Santa Monica Boulevard or whatever it is.
Oh
This we're
man.
on this main side street, and I'm not from LA, so I don't really know the streets that well. And and this fucker punches it. We're going like 160, fucking passing people, and oh my god! And then, but we were just talking, man, and I was just like, "Fuck, I really fuck with this dude," and like, I get where he comes from and his lifestyle, his mindset, and we kind of just agreed on it there that I think we should try to take this thing to the next level, because he built a great foundation, and man, we haven't looked back since, for real.
No,
You know?
it's been nice. I mean, we just retired our first teacher.
Yep.
There's been a lot of people that have actually quit their jobs and now just trade full time.
We got two, one admin too, who was a full time, tech guy. I think he was on the engineer side, super smart, and now he works for us. He's hired him. He's one of our admins. He crushes it, absolutely crushes it. I think the cool thing about the group is it allows you to be connected to people that you're like minded with, and it may motivate you too. Like,
Yeah,
and also just a connection, like, dude, you got to think about this. Our producer behind the scenes, you guys probably won't ever see or hear from him. We'll get him on an episode, but Brian Christopher, right? Shout out Brian at Brian Christopher on Twitter. But he's part. The only reason we met him, he was part of the group. He's one of the members.
yep,
He's one of the wolves. Like, and now he brought this idea to us. Like, I think you guys' voice should be heard. And now he helped us start this whole podcast and does everything behind the scenes for us. So it's just little shit like that.
yeah.
You
Because
get connected.
yeah, I mean, and that was the whole idea behind it. Is like, you start with the finances because money makes the world go around. That's like you have to have money to do things, but the
Mhm.
community aspect, like you're talking about, I think that's one of the coolest things see come to life. Because you're right, like my logo was made by somebody in the group. This
Yep.
podcast is
Made by
being
somebody in the group.
produced by somebody in the group. There's people retiring, people, and then we have even hired, like you said, hired an admin who was in the group but now trades full time and kills it.
Yeah,
And I
crushes it.
mean, I think community and then the network is like what we're trying to build, and it's really cool to see all of that take place and go down. And I don't know, it's really beautiful to see. So I love
No,
it.
it's cool.
Yeah,
Nah,
so yeah,
and
I
then
definitely want to get the point across that we're a community. We do throw out trade alerts every single day of the week, but the main focus, like I said earlier, if you're surrounded by 5 millionaires, you're going to be the six.
yep,
So that's the idea
that's
behind it, and
fact.
it's just much more because we go around psychology, side hustles. There's even sports betting. It just like it does. It
You got
feels like
fitness.
yeah. It feels like a high school without the drama. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
this like nice club that you get into, and it's I don't know.
It's
It's pretty
this,
cool.
bro. You know what it is? It's the social media that doesn't focus on the fucking selfies. It doesn't focus on what the Kardashians do. It doesn't focus on the this, that, the other, all the bullshit. Right? It's a bunch of people that come together and they talk about shit that gets each other better.
Yeah.
Supplies info that gets each other better. Supplies connections that can help get each other better. Right?
Yep. And it's
Like your community
motivating.
led us to become connected.
I
It
mean,
led
yeah.
us
I
to
mean,
Brian.
I think
It led us
us.
to John, to Trail, to all these people. And it's just the connection of the people that are like minded. You know what I'm saying? Like all that other social media bullshit of everything else. Like just it's counterproductive. It's actually hurting you.
It's negative, it's
It's
flashy. I mean,
negative.
even
It's
on
bad.
FinTweet, you see all this flashiness and everything going on. And I mean, people just think, oh, okay, I'm gonna take trade alerts and then just like when's Lambo? When's my Rolly? Like, when's my mansion? And then you see these
Yeah.
people, like I've seen the same people who are just so dead set on like taking just trade alerts and day trading. And I've seen them for the past 2 years and they're still on that literally the same spot that they were 2 years ago because they think that it's just one magical play is going to
Yep.
change their entire life, which possibly true. I mean, if you play in this game long enough, you can hit streaks that are pretty life changing. But if you don't know how to manage that money, we lose it all. If
Yep.
you anybody who I've seen hit big on Twitter, do you see them hitting more big, or do you see them growing and growing? No, they hit big. They gave their tweet like, I just made this much, and then you never hear from them again
Yep.
because they keep trading with poor trading strategies, poor
Mhm.
mindsets, and then they're going to try to flip that big money into even bigger money, and then they lose it all.
I would
So
say I think it'd be important to say that, usually those people that hit big, like consistently is because they have a consistent strategy. Every blind squirrel's gonna find its nut. It'll find a little
yep,
nut. You're never gonna walk into that gigantic shit on accident. Like you don't just make it to the NBA on accident. You,
yeah,
you know what I mean? You
yeah,
like you
no,
don't just become a freak athlete on accident. It's not you. There is a work. There is that discipline that comes along with it. The strategy that needs to happen, right? The work ethic, all that. And yeah, man, I think you're right. There's a huge lapse in our society right now where every aspect of their life. I think how that's what our community is trying to solve is that if you want to be a good trader, you have to be disciplined. You have to have
mhm,
work ethic, right? You have to wake up every morning and grind. It don't matter. Even if you get kicked in the fucking teeth, it doesn't matter, right? Just like if you want to be in shape, you want to lift a lot of weight, you want to be good at sports, you want to be good at the piano or at an instrument, you want to be a good husband, father, brother, sister, mother, whatever. You don't just do it by accident, right? You got to be consistent and put that work in. You know what I'm saying? And so usually when you're really consistent in one thing in your life, it should carry over to everything else. So that's why all those successful motherfuckers, all the ones that are rich as hell, they're in great shape, like they're gonna keep on fucking winning.
absolutely. I mean,
You
I
know what I
mean,
mean? No.
you're seeing the progress, but you're seeing like the in progress, but you're not seeing the whole progress of like,
Hmm.
like if you just take me for example, like this is my 8th year trading, but you would think that like, oh, he's just making all this money all of a sudden. It's like, no, like, bro, like this is my 8th year, like 8
There's levels
years.
to it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
8 fucking years. Like I've lost millions, but I've also made millions. So like
Yeah.
it's always a give and take. Like you have to learn, you have to put in the work. Like, and that's another thing I want to talk about is I hate people nowadays. It's like don't want to put in the fucking work to get to what they want. Like life doesn't work it doesn't hand shit out to you. Like I'm sorry, that's not
Mm-mm.
how life works.
Nope.
If you want something, you have to work for it. And
Exactly.
if and in any kind of education, any kind of video, even this podcast, you have to take it in and then you have to apply whatever principles you learn to the real world. Just because
Yep.
just because you learned something or like read something, you think your life is just magically going to change. You have to actually apply what you learn day by day by day. Everything is built brick by brick.
Exactly. No, exactly, bro. That's
Yeah.
it. You can't you don't get spoon fed into greatness.
Nope.
You know
Never.
what I'm saying? No, not at all, ever. So
Unless you're a
yeah, bro,
trust
I
fund
think
baby.
I think that hopefully will that was the long-winded answer of our intro.
Yeah.
I guess of what we try to do for our community. We
Yeah.
give out trade alerts. We have full-time investment people that talk about dividends and long-term investing and all that kind of stuff. So that the financial standpoint is there.
Or we just
And
want to
and it,
provide real information and not this like bullshit,
yeah,
check my flash shit. Like, no, that's not real. And
no.
so we just want to be real for you guys because another thing I'm seeing is like it creates this mentality. And so now these people think they're failing. They think that they're not good enough. They think they're doing something wrong, but it's like,
Yep.
bro, you're following somebody who's paper trading. Like if he's making $1 million a week, what the fuck? What is he doing on Twitter?
Yeah, no,
like, let's be
exactly.
fucking real. And I get helping people and I get that shit. But if you're making $1 million a week, you're way, way bigger than Twitter. You
Yeah,
probably have this
no.
biz. Like you're a Grant Cardone, you're a fucking Ty Lopez. Like you're not
Yeah,
some
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
schmuck on Twitter.
I agree.
But
No, that's real. I agree.
yeah,
Also, if I was making a mill a week, I'd be fucking, I'd be on an island somewhere, drunk as hell. But you know me.
dude, yeah, I would. Hell yeah, I would. So yeah, I mean that's what we're all about, just keeping it
Yeah.
real, trying to be transparent, trying to actually, give good information and give you a good mindset so that you actually do achieve things. Because
Mm.
trying to do something that isn't real is just setting yourself up to fail and fail and fail, and then you'll eventually give up. And then
Why would you be? You're allocating all that time to just fake it or whatever. It's like, why don't you just put it in? Why don't you put the real work in? If imagine if you spent all that time doing something real. And social
exactly,
media, bro, they all they do is show the highlight reel.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They
It's only
don't
highlight.
they don't show the behind the scenes. They don't show those nights, up till 4 a.m. grinding, no sleep, crying, fucking down in the dumps, like, the roller coaster. All you see is the fucking, selfie in front of the jet
Yeah.
or getting picked up in the fucking Bentayga or whatever, all
Yep.
the bullshit that happens, right? So
Yeah.
like, yeah, bro, I think I think this is a good opportunity for us, and we've talked about it a ton to actually just be like real and transparent about a lot of things, and
Yeah.
try to just get people out of the mindset that our society is just so fucking bred of
Mhm.
inadequacy, of average, like, of it's okay as long as you're having fun, bullshit. I'm like, nah, man, we're out here to fucking win. We're out here to dominate this motherfucking game, right? Like Andy
Absolutely.
Frisella says, 100 to fucking 0. I'm trying to dominate.
And,
And
and
society's like, "Oh, well, you're so, mean and you shouldn't focus on that." It's like, "Well, fuck you then. You keep on losing.
yeah,
I'll
I
keep
mean,
on collecting the trophies." Like, "Okay, that's cool with me." You know? But
well,
yeah.
somebody has to win at some point, and I
Dude,
think
there's gotta be a
dominating
winner.
at
To
life
be a winner, there has to be a loser.
has to. And if you want to dominate, you have to dominate at life and be that alpha. And that's okay. I think when you get into like big ego and you want to, I think that whole thing about flash ego, all that shit. Yeah, that's when it gets bad. But if you have
Mhm.
confidence and you know you're a winner, then that's good. You know what I mean? Like you put in the time, like you should feel proud and you should feel confident in what you know. And I think that's okay.
I mean,
But
dude, like, all right. So, like, there's a huge, I don't want to get into it, but there's a huge discussion about who's the greatest NBA basketball player of all time. I don't give a fuck if you ask Kobe, RIP, Jordan, LeBron, but like LeBron's still playing. So I'm going to say this. Do you think when LeBron steps on the court, he does not believe he is the best motherfucker to ever pick up the rock?
yeah,
And if
he
someone
does.
asked him, hey, bro, you think you're the best? I think any other answer besides like yes is like literally just selling yourself short when you're that at that level of eliteness, right? But he's also, I think he does a good job not being like cocky about it.
No,
If they're gonna ask, he's just gonna be honest. You have to have like confidence, and that's what our society, like they don't want that.
no,
Don't
they
take your shirt
don't.
off. Don't take your shirt off at the pool. You'll make others nervous, or don't show that, like, don't show your success. It's like, why the fuck not?
Well,
As
then
long as
why
you're
am
not
I
being
doing it in
rude
the
about
first
it,
place?
you're not being, it's just like, bro, you put in all that work to what? To do what? Like, enjoy it,
Yeah,
you
and to
know?
win.
No, that's it. We're always on the same page there, but
Yeah, we are.
you know,
Why not? That's why I always, when people are like, "Who do you think's the best trader?" and then I'll always say it's you. Like you're your best trader that you know. Like
that's the thing about trading, bro, is it's such an individual battle every day. There, like, when you go to
someone
play
just
sports, you're playing against another team. Like, dude, when you're trading, it's just you against you. Can you keep your emotions in check? Can you stick to your strategy? And can you win?
exactly.
Because it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter, Justin, if you made like 200 grand one day and I made 2 grand one day. Motherfucker, we both won.
Absolutely.
Like, it does. And I can't sit there and be like, oh, well, someone else made more, or oh, someone else, had a better entry or a better exit or better this, or but it's like, okay, that's not your account is not their account. They don't pay your motherfucking bills. They don't wipe your
Mm-mm.
goddamn ass. You know what I'm saying? If they
Yep.
do, it's like, well, you're gonna still have sex with your wife too. Like, goddamn, you're worried about so. Like, I mean, we said we're gonna make this podcast to be real, motherfucker. I'm gonna be real. I'm just gonna tell it how it is.
No, we got to be real. I mean, that's why we made it. So
I mean, because society doesn't want you to be real nowadays. They just want you to be in the herd mentality, follow the
mhm.
flow, be compliant. Do all that bullshit that you thought since you were a kid. You know,
Yep.
and so I think this is the type of shit that has to be said. And for for
Absolutely.
full transparency, man, I would make a sailor cringe if you guys knew how much I actually cuss. So just a
yeah.
heads up. And if you don't like that, then fuck you. I really don't care. Because you're probably not winning. Okay, that's it. That's all I had to say about that.
FCC coming after us soon.
What's that?
I said
The
the
SEC.
FCC coming after
Yeah,
us
I'm
soon.
not fucking moving.
No, that's good. That's a good intro. I mean, yeah, I think we've now proven our point that we're gonna keep it real, and
Mhm.
with our podcast from here on out. So this is
Yeah,
this is us in the raw.
I don't think there's
Let's
no other way to do it.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, you have to be real or else you're living a lie. And if you're living
Yeah,
a lie, then it's false. It's a false reality. And then like you're trying to achieve something that isn't real, which means you'll never achieve it, which means
yeah.
you keep failing, which means your mindset, then you think you suck, think you're not good enough. It's literally the worst thing out there.
Hmm.
But
Yep.
yeah, let's talk about the market real quick.
All right. Yeah, yeah. We'll break it
Um
down real quick. I mean, what do we have today? So,
yeah, Biden
today we
spoke.
we had the FOMC meeting,
Hmm.
right? The Federal Open Market Committee. For those of you that might not know what that is, it's basically an elected board of officials for the federal government. Um, and they try to basically keep the economy from failing. I mean, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, right now, you guys obviously were aware that COVID 2020 happened. And what they did was something that was called quantitative easing. They started purchasing assets and securities, usually in the forms of bonds to keep liquidity in the market. Basically, it's like you can imagine it as like somebody riding a bike, putting training wheels on it. And
Yep.
you're pretty much never going to fall,
Yeah, it's
you know?
artificial.
So if you look from like the dip of 2020 up until we got to 4,800 or 480 SPY, it was like you were just riding the bike up the hill. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So and by doing that, they're also keeping rates super low, which encourages, the economy to
Spending.
grow, people to borrow money, people to spend, et cetera, which is all accounts for economic growth, which is healthy, right? Well, at some point, they have to stop doing that,
Yep.
especially right now because inflation's out of control. Oil and gas, I mean, oil and energy is out of control as well. Although them raising rates wouldn't
Commodities.
really do anything to oil, but still, it's a major issue in our economy right now.
I mean, I
So
think
they
there's a
need to
lot
be
of
tightened. They need to tighten. So today they actually gave the first inclination that they're going to do some tightening, right? They're going to they raised it 25 basis points. Some say not enough, but they're thinking they're going to do 7 throughout the year. Then they talked about the quantitative tightening, which would be them selling and liquidating their balance sheet of the asset purchases they did during the quantitative easing I just discussed. Anyway, long story short, we saw like a fucking I don't know. We saw like an 8 point dip on SPY right after the news came out, and then we ripped 10 points really into the close.
yeah.
So, you know, is it bullish? Is it bearish? I don't fucking know. It really doesn't matter. You just need to trade what's in front of you if you're
Yeah,
trading.
I think we don't get caught up on like, oh, is the market bullish? Is it bearish? I think we just need to stick to our principles, like trade what's in front of you. And then as far as like taking anything long, we know the basics of how to swing trade. So I don't know, just average in,
Have your
um,
levels. Have your
have your
and
levels, support and resistance. Yeah.
I think everybody focuses on the entry. I think that's a big issue we talk about in our group a lot. They're so focused on getting the entry, the perfect entry, or just making that right point that they dive into a trade or enter, right? And then they don't have an exit strategy.
No, they don't at all.
They
And
don't.
well,
I'm
and then
like,
they
you could have the best entry in the world, but if you don't know when to exit or when to take the profits,
exactly.
then it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. And when
Well,
we're in a market like this, I mean, we've seen just these volatile whipsaw moves day after day after day. I mean, if you just pulled up just go look at the daily chart on SPY. I mean, these ranges are crazy.
yeah, they are.
Um, so this is not a market. This is a market where you need to be quick, right? You have to get in, get out. You have to plan the fullness of the trade. Because if you don't, you're gonna get left bag held. It's gonna reverse on you. You a lot of things could go wrong. There's
Mhm.
so many, especially geopolitical, foreign. Ukraine and Russia. Then we got the Fed. Then we got the current administration. It's just like Then I know they're still trying to give money funding to fucking COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like there's so many of these little fucking things flying in. It's like it could go up and then one headline hits, it fucking comes right back down, and you're just like, and it'll catch you like that, like
Oh,
that.
absolutely, in a split second. And I think what we really need to start talking about and teaching again is, we're taking things long. It's
Mhm.
okay to sit in a trade for 2 weeks, a month, and even
Yeah.
a year plus. Like nobody even talks about holding anything a year plus, but the tax advantages of holding things a year plus are incredible. You know what I
Yep.
mean? I think it's like what 10% if you hold it for over a year
It's
versus or
yeah, you
15.
get long
It's
term capital
Yeah,
gains.
I
So
think
I
it's
think the max you pay
10%.
is like 20% max. So if you did a mill, you pay
Yeah.
200 in taxes. Now, if I make a mill in California, I'm paying like 550,000 combined, right?
Yeah, short term. Yeah, if you took short
Short
term,
term's
yeah.
fucked. Yeah, you
So
don't
that
want short term.
yeah, I mean,
People are always just funny. They're like, oh, they need to tax the rich, or like all this bullshit. I'm like, bro, I'm like, those people don't earn active income.
No,
Every
they don't.
income, it's all long term, bro. It's all
Well,
passive.
well, and
It's
then
not taxed the same.
it's
Like, I think
funny.
your first 80K on dividend investing is fucking free. Like, you don't even get, as long as you've been holding it for longer than a year. 80K
Mhm.
is more than, I would say, like 50% of people make in our country.
Oh, absolutely,
You make they're getting it tax free. So if you do make 80K, they're still taking 30% of that motherfucker.
absolutely.
So you're left with what? Less than 60?
And then 80K is doable. I mean, 80K a year in dividend income, around 8% would be $1 million. So let's just round it up to 1.2 million. So let's just say even 1.5. At 1.5, you're bringing in 80K, and that compounds, year after year after year exponentially.
Yeah,
So it's
especially if you're
very
reinvesting it.
doable.
Yep.
It's very doable. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
people just need to start looking about the future and then the now. Everybody's so caught up in being rich now. And it's like, bro, if you just invest and or chill and like
Yeah.
add to your long positions, you'll see every single one of those just be green.
Mhm.
Like, and
Yep.
then that's the fun part about it, is just watching your swings go green one by one. And then it's just like, I'll take profits here, gonna reload here, gonna buy into a new long here. And it's just
Yeah.
like, we really need to start talking about how to really invest and how to
Yep.
really be wealthy. And that's investing and swing trading. That is not day trading.
Yeah, yeah, yep. I agree. I think too, it's like, we make a ton of money day trading. So what it's
Absolutely.
not, it's not how much you make, it's what you do with it. Our country doesn't have they don't in my opinion, I think the problem lies on the spending side.
Mhm.
Everybody makes money to live. You have to have some income to live, to pay rent, to have food, all that kind of shit. So it's what you do with the money that you make, and our society does not breed for anyone. I mean anyone to be like, "Oh, you should make sure you invest." Like, it's, "Oh, make sure you go buy the new car. Make sure you have the next generation iPhone every year, and oh, the new MacBook came out, and oh, this and oh that, and oh, go on these trips that you can't afford." It's like,
Absolutely.
no, but like, they'll go spend 5 grand to go to, wherever, and on some trip out of country. But when you're like, "Hey, would you put 5 grand in like Google?" They'd be like, "Oh no, that stock market, that's risky."
Yeah,
I'm
too
like, "Well, all those
risky.
motherfuckers that are telling you the stock market's risky, right? All the motherfuckers that are in it, like what the fuck,
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. I mean, yeah, the big guys are telling you it's too risky, it's hard and all this shit, but they're the one making millions and
The
billions
ones
off
that
of
are
it.
crushing it.
Yeah,
It's
so I
funny,
mean,
bro. You think about this. Our government officials make 200K a year, right? Like people in Congress or whatever, they make a killing.
oh
Their
yeah.
their portfolios, their brokerage portfolios are insane, like
Millions.
insane. But they don't push that on people. They don't tell people bro, I was a finance degree. Like I was a finance major, bro.
Yep.
I had one finance class about the stock market. Like one upper division class. Everything else was on the corporate
In
side.
your
Everything else
entire
was learning about cash flows. Everything else was learning about how to, how to read, how to like value a company, like all this kind of shit, how to work in the finance, how to do accounting, all this kind of shit. It was all to work for somebody else, but they didn't talk about what you should do with your money after you got it. It was only one class. And
damn,
I
that's
remember my,
crazy.
my instructor was like, "Hey, these are options. Like these are super volatile, super risky. You should never use them." And I'm like, "Why not?" I'm like they're like, "Yeah, you could have a 500%." I'm like, "500%? Like what the fuck?" And I'm like, "The S&P 500 returns 8 to 12 a year. Like, how come we aren't talking about this more?" like,
But
you
what's
know,
crazy is like people are like, "Oh, it's risky at 500%," but it's like if you're going to make a 500% gain, then I don't need to put a lot of money on it. And that's what
yeah,
people
that's
don't
it too.
get. Yeah,
Yep,
if you're going for a high percentage, 500,000% on options, then why the fuck are you trying to full port or put a fat ass position on it when you're gaining that much? Like obviously it's a higher risk, so you want to, gauge that risk and enter with a smaller entry if you're going to
yep,
make that much, because you'll make just as much off of that, off of a small entry versus a big entry making 10%. It's like the same
true.
thing, but you can risk more on a 10% more high conviction play versus a
Yeah,
a
oh yeah.
lotto run.
For sure. You should that, and that's the other thing too, is like those, you get 100% banger, 1,000% banger, which they do come on the option side. And lots of
Absolutely.
people do make good money. It's like, but are you putting those in long swings? Like Google's got a 20-to-1 split, Amazon's got a 20-to-1 split. Like, are you gonna be loading up your Roth IRA? Do
Well,
you
you
even know
have
what a Roth IRA is? Like, you
they
know what I
don't.
mean? Like that,
Well, I mean,
that's
that's the
another
thing.
episode.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll definitely get into that.
yeah, we'll get Josh
We did
on
have a
for
great
that one.
conversation with Josh
Josh.
Hancock, though. Shout out Josh, one of our admins, man. He crushed it. He had a financial literacy Zoom call we did with our entire community. We opened it up to all our social medias. Definitely a partnership coming there further down the line. I think he's a great asset to our community. But it's just funny that there's so many people that don't even know, bro. There's so many people that don't even know that, like, who Jerome Powell is.
Oh, they don't at all. No, I know. I saw your post on Instagram. You're like, who is this?
I know. I'm like,
I was all
he
John
was
McCain.
speaking earlier, so I took a picture of my screen 'cause I listened to him, and I was like, "This is the guy that actually runs our country. What's his name,
Yep.
bro?" Nobody, nobody. I'm
Nobody
just like,
knows.
hmm,
No, the real financial literacy just like isn't being taught right now. And
no,
it's just, because these people see these, easy money, like flash, let me flash something, sell some memberships, easy money. Don't
hmm
really have to teach. Oh, let me just say, oh, support resistance zones or, just like I don't know. Financial literacy needs to be taught.
it does,
Like,
it does.
and
You need to learn what to do with your money.
absolutely,
Like,
so
I don't know. I think about it like this. Dude, you spend 40 hours of your fucking week. Some people more, 60 like you. I used to work
mhm.
fucking 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I worked two jobs out of school, bro. Like when I first graduated, I got my corporate gig and I was still serving tables and bartending, bro. And so I would go, Monday to Friday. I'd work, I get in the office by 7 a.m. and usually I'd be working from anytime until 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. Fridays, I'd make sure I'm off at 4 so I can drive an hour to my restaurant to work from 5 p.m. to close. And then I'd
Yep.
work Saturday and Sunday. I did that for a full year. Worked a whole, like,
It's
you
hard.
work
That
we give up
taxes you.
so much of our time to make this money,
Yeah.
right? How would you not want to know how to handle it?
Exactly. Even learn, like, say, like you're a worker, right? Now you
Mhm.
just think about your money being workers for you and they're working for you 24/7 around the clock.
Yep.
And you don't have to put in your time because financial freedom isn't about putting more time in to make more money. It's about
Mm-mm.
having your money create more free time for you. Like
Yeah.
that's what true financial freedom is. So, a lot of people get caught up like I gotta work, and work and work and work. If you're starting something up, a business, and you're like trying to start something, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
go
you
for
definitely
it,
gotta work.
fucking work. But
Yeah.
at some point, you do have to draw that line of like, okay, well, I'm putting in all this time. I need to have more free time for myself. That you have to take care of your mental. You have to have your free time, your meditation time. Like it's just a must. So,
Yeah.
start thinking about having your money work for you versus you working for money. That's like one of the biggest
Yeah,
things
dude.
I got out of it.
100%. It's funny too because everyone's like, I know you get a lot like, "It's not all about money."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"It's not?" Yeah. How you gonna tell me it's not when you have to work 40 hours a week just to live? They're like, "Well, it's
Well,
all about, do you enjoy the stuff you do in life?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." And I'm like, "Well, let me ask you this. If you have more money, do you think you can spend more time doing the things that you love?" And they're always like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, well,
there you go.
what else you want me to say?" I'm like, "So don't tell me it's not all about money. It's about money,
But you
and
also have
that's
the people who are talking about who are saying it's not about money are also the people who are always asking you for something free or even just asking you for
or broke,
money.
bro. They're broke.
Yeah, they're broke. And then but
Or
what are
they
they
make
doing?
50K a year.
They're always asking people for something. Like maybe they're not asking for money, but they're asking for a ride. They're asking for food. Hey, can you
Yeah.
help me with this? Can you help me with that? It's like I'm all for helping people, but you have to make yeah, exactly. You have to make money in
Mhm.
order to
To
live
do
the life you
anything.
want. Like that's just how the world works. Like I
Yep.
don't care what you say. That is exactly how if you're content being on the streets, go for it. I know there's a lot of homeless around my home that seems happy every single day that they're living on the streets, and that's cool. I'm happy for them. But
Yeah.
dude, that is not for me.
Yeah, no,
I want to
I
I want to travel and chill and be comfortable and like spend time with my family and friends and the people that matter most to me. I want to help people. I want to give money away. Like I think, if I make money, I want to give someone away. I want to help people because I
mhm.
think that is necessary. but we can get that's like another episode. But
Nah, yeah, we'll
you know what I
definitely
mean?
hop
But
into it.
either way, either so that's my dream. And so my dream, everybody's dream consists of money in some way, shape, or form. There's going to be some aspect where money has to be involved. If
Yep.
you want to
Like,
help people, you need money to help people. If you want to change your life, you need money to change your life. Like it always revolves around money, but don't make money your God. I think that's
no,
where
no,
people
no.
get
I think in
confused.
the Bible it says the worshiping of money is like the
Yeah.
root of all evil.
Hmm.
And like you should never worship it. Because honestly, money is worthless. Like in the sense that if I like I don't have any cash on me right now, but if I if I had $100 right now, right? I
Yeah.
put it under my mattress and I let my great grandson take over my home one day. 100 years later, he pulls up the mattress, there's $100 under there. It's still worth $100 fucking.
Yeah.
It's not worth any
Exactly.
more, any less. I'm not gonna tell you, Justin, I'll sell you this $100 bill and you give me $110. That's not how that works.
No.
Money is actually fucking useless. Like it's worthless, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, dude. I mean, you have to have it to do anything you want. And like you said, to tie it back, we want to buy time.
Hmm.
I don't want to buy anything else besides time. And how do you buy time? You buy assets that make money for you.
Yes, sir.
And the rich do that by what? Real estate. Really simple. And obviously, that's another episode that we'll get in on. And we've got people that we want to bring on and stuff that are in our group that are, real estate moguls. We have private equity people. We have people that run, investing, like we have the people that do so many things. And I think the world needs to hear from them firsthand. And I think it's
Well,
good for us to talk
I
about
think
them.
our one admin BK, I think his private equity firm just hit $1 billion in assets. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Crushing it.
that's yeah, no, they're
Ex
killing it right
NFL
now.
guy, like nicest guy, give you the shirt off his back.
Hmm. Well, he
Does
came
great
from
for our
nothing. He was
community.
poor growing up. So that's
He
like
was
what's
poor, man.
awesome. Yeah. And
You
he
know,
made it. And you know, I mean, if any of you ever talk to him, he'll tell you like he put in the work to get there. Like it wasn't
yep.
just handed to him. So,
Bro, I know you've been there too. I've been paycheck to paycheck and I ain't never going back.
bro,
I'm
bro, there's
never
been
going back.
days where if I want to eat, I have to find change in my car, change in my couch. Like I've
Hmm.
been there. Yeah, absolutely. Like it's, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's not like I've always had money.
Those days of so much debt, dude, when you ever been in so much debt, you're just like, you can't even be stressed. Like,
No.
there's no turn. Man, I like, if you choose, and the thing is, you could choose. Everybody has a choice.
Yeah.
Everybody has a choice. You choose to be healthy. You choose
Mhm.
to wake up early, right? You choose the job that you're working. People don't realize that. We have a lot more control of our lives, and I think hopefully we can get a message out that people can actually start taking a lot more advantage of the choices that they do have. And to make the right choices, bro. Society's on here trying to tell us that like, oh, you shouldn't try to make money, you shouldn't try to be
Mhm.
super successful, just stay in your lane, work for 40 fucking years, retire when you're 60. I'm like, the Maldives isn't that cool when I'm 60, bro.
Yeah, no, it's not.
you know, I'm like, I'm gonna try to enjoy that when I'm 30.
Yeah.
When I'm 25, when I'm 30, 35, when I'm young. So,
And I think another thing is that people they see success or see a certain success and then they want to copy that or imitate that. And
mm,
it's, everybody has to find their niche and find their own path.
yep,
And you're like somebody, when somebody has $1 million company cleaning carpets, going around cleaning carpets in houses. Somebody has $1 million company,
yep.
I'm sure, picking up shit. You know what I mean? Just like there's so many different avenues. Like, don't get so focused on like what's a sexy way
Yeah,
to be
what's
making
sexy?
money.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
nah, fuck that, bro. Like, if somebody's like, if you can have a $10 million business, yeah, just like where you go around picking up dog shit. All right, fucking let's do it. I'll take that business any day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Dude,
care that my business is picking up dog shit. Like, I'm $10 million,
yeah,
bitch.
I'm 10
Like,
mil, bro. What are you?
you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's another thing. People get caught up on trying to be like sexy rich. And it's like, bro, money's money. It doesn't matter how you make it. Like, go make it.
Dude, I remember talking to this dude. I was super young. This dude was like, this was back in the early 2000s. He was really good on like on just like doing the digital fucking ad spaces. And he told me, he's like,
Yeah.
bro, he was like, those little this is be funny as fuck. On like Pornhub or whatever, when it says like sexy singles dirty, like all those little
Oh,
advertisements
yeah.
that come up, he goes, bro, I make those. He's like, I make those. And that dude was so well off. I'm
Oh,
like,
I
and
bet.
this was early. This was like way like prior to 2010. So the internet was still like,
Yeah,
very,
it's
very
relatively
brand new
new.
during
Yeah.
these times for sure still. And like he
As
was
far as
just
ad space
crushing
like
it.
that, for sure.
And
Yeah.
like imagine telling that to like a bunch of people, they would like judge you, but I'm like, fuck, you're making a grip of money.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
making your
you know what I
money.
mean? Who cares? You know what I mean? I
And that
mean,
kind of goes back to, I mean, let me even tie this back to, from where we were first talking about with day trading. Not everybody's meant to be a day trader.
no, no, that's a
I would
fact.
say probably 99% of you aren't meant to be day traders. That
Yep.
shit is fucking hard. Like
It's
to be a consistent day trader, and I make all my money from day trading. I don't invest. I only just day trade. Like,
oh, that's hard.
bro, I less than 1% of people I bet do that.
100%. Well, you
Absolutely.
and I do, we talk in the community all day. We talk outside the community. We're on calls every day. Like, dude, we at least like once a week we're like walking each other off the ledge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're like, bro, I can't fucking do this. Like this
Yeah.
shit's so it's so like mentally stressful. It's so like, we're like, nah, man, you got it. Everything's
Yep.
fine. Just remember your roots, all that. It's like, dude, this is a hard job.
Absolutely.
And if being successful in life was easy, then everyone would be successful.
Mhm.
If being rich was easy, everyone would be rich. That's why it's like there's that benefit and you have to enjoy like that outcome in your life. You have to enjoy your successes.
I mean, the journey is the best part. I mean, there's
Yeah.
some parts that really suck. Like, there's holes in my wall from throwing my phone because I lost. Like, there's some days that fucking sucked. Like,
Dude, my
I've,
neighbors have to think I'm fucking nuts. They have to think I'm nuts. Like I'll be
bro,
screaming at 6:30 in the morning sometimes.
I'm
Like,
literally my biggest thing that I do is literally like an ape, just start slamming my desk as hard as I can with my fists when I fucking lose, and I'm just like, God fucking damn it.
yep.
Yeah, no, I'm loud. Yeah, no, my neighbors probably think I'm crazy too.
They have to think I'm fucking nuts.
But you know what? It's like I lost myself with this day trading shit. Like, so now I'm back to swing trading. Let's take an example. I called out Pixie on March 9th and I took it at 68 cents. It
Mhm.
went down to 61 cents. And now the last time I checked at market close, it was heading over 70 cents.
Yeah.
So I held. It was a swing, stress free. Did it go down? I did, but I bought at a very strong support
Mhm.
on the daily, super strong support. It broke a little bit, but I knew that we
It
were there,
reclaimed
and
it.
now it's getting found again. So
Yep.
like I'm going back to that style of trading, and I think that style of trading is what's key and what's missing in everybody's portfolio right now is like you
Yeah.
need to like let's get back to the swings. Let's get back to what actually makes money and what 99% of people can do. You
Yeah. Yeah.
can
Yeah.
take an entry and sit there and wait until it's green one day, and then take the profit. People
Yep.
can do that. People who work, people who, have kids, people who don't really know that much about the stock market can understand that concept.
Yeah.
But when you're day trading, there's so many different things
I
that
think
can go
we're too
wrong.
zoomed in.
Yeah.
We're
Too
too
zoomed in.
zoomed in on like on just everything, and sometimes we all need to step back and like see the big picture.
Well, you
I
see,
think that's life as in whole. We talked about that too. Everything you do in life, you have to step back and know there's going to be like not every day is the best day ever. Not every
mm,
trade is the best trade ever, right? Like you have to know you got to zoom the fuck out, and then you'll realize it all makes sense. You got to have the rain to enjoy the sun. Like cliche, okay, but like you do. You have to experience
you
some
do.
cloud cover to understand, like, I really do fuck with this sun. I want to keep this motherfucker around. you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So like, I agree with you, bro. You have to zoom out. And day trading, sometimes I think we get so hyper focused. I think in life you get super hyper focused on like your shortcomings. You get
Hmm.
hyper focused on like the negative and forget there's so many positive things, you know?
Absolutely. There's always a lesson in failure too. So that's
Yeah. It's not a
like try to look at the good and the bad because
mhm.
like you just said, life is a yin and a yang. You can't have the run. You can't have the sun without the rain, and there's always going to be this yin and yang in everything you do in life, and
It's
that's just
not,
something you have to understand.
I forgot who told it to me. Someone said it. Maybe I read it. They were like, when you realize in life, when you stop asking yourself, like, something bad happens, like, oh, why me? Like, why'd this happen to me?
Hmm.
And then you start asking, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? And when you start doing that, you realize all those bad shit that happens it's usually, I would say 99% of it is caused by you. and
Yeah, it
every one of your
is.
past decisions, right? So when you start learning from the bad shit that happens to you, then you stop having bad shit happen to you. I mean,
Absolutely. And that goes
you hang around with
in
bad people, bad shit's gonna happen.
that,
You hang around with 5 millionaires, you're gonna be the sixth. You hang around with five criminals, you're probably gonna be the sixth criminal.
I mean, and
You know?
you gotta be honest with yourself too about what's going on. You know,
Yeah.
when you play victim and you put off all these other things as to why what's going on, you'll never truly, fix the issue because
Yep.
you had to, because it starts with you. Every single, shout out to MJ, man. You gotta look at the man in the mirror. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
that's who makes the difference.
That's it.
And
When
that's
you
where it
realize
starts.
nobody controls your life but you, bro,
Hmm.
like you are in complete control. You're the CEO of your life. That gets thrown around all the time. Then you better fucking act like
Yeah.
it.
I
You
read this
know?
little book in it was my sophomore year of college, my second year of college, and it had like a candle on it. And that's exactly what that book talked about. It was about like where it said that you are responsible for everything.
Yeah.
Even if something bad happens, like it's just like you can't you have to take responsibility and own up to it. You can't like blame anybody for anything. Even if something bad happens. Like you just have to be like, okay, cool. And then just
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
going.
Got to take that ownership. Yep.
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah. So I
Well,
think
dude, I don't know.
that's
I feel like we talked about we went from an intro to society to trading to like all this crazy bullshit. These half the people are like probably logged off by now. Like these motherfuckers are nuts. I think we hit a lot of shit, but
Well, I think it
hopefully,
was good because this is pretty much like the topics we will be talking about. So this
yeah.
will
I
be
think that was what I was gonna say.
overview.
I think we try to hit every single like everything we want to talk about is just everything in life, surrounded by
Mhm.
everything. But it stems from trading for us from the stock market. But hopefully, I think everyone could get like a little bit of an idea of like our mindset, our personalities,
Mhm.
how we're going to come about things, and hopefully they understand. We're probably going to try to keep it as real as possible
Absolutely.
with everybody all the time, and hopefully they like it, man. I mean, like I said, we're gonna have guests on. It's gonna be good, bro. I'm really excited.
Yeah,
I
no, I'm
think
excited too. And I mean, the future, just so you guys know, the futures will be more topic specific, so we won't be jumping around
more
like that.
outlined.
Yeah, more outline, but we just
we,
want to give you an overview
we'll
of
be
like,
more disciplined to structure.
yeah.
He's like, damn, these motherfuckers talk about discipline like they don't got no structure in their shit.
Fuck.
So I don't know, Justin. You want to wrap it up with
No,
like the
that's it.
last
I think that was
words?
good. That was a good, like I said, this is our test pilot. So thank you for whoever actually finished this all the way through. If you did, shoot me a tweet and say I finished it, and I'll toss you $100.
Oh, shit.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, let's get it out there. Excited to have you guys along on this journey. Um, Podcast. This will be dropped today, hopefully. If not, our first one will be dropped next Wednesday and every Wednesday after that. So be on the lookout.
Cool. All right, bro.
Cool.
I'm down. That's it for
Awesome.
me, guys. My last word is, hey, fucking crush shit. Get after it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Love you guys.
All
Appreciate
right.
every one of you for tuning in and listening. Hopefully you stay with us. And thank you, Brian, for making all this happen on the back end, bro.
Yeah, Brian, thank you. I appreciate it. I think the Wolves are out.
Peace.